What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back with another post-match fan show to discuss Tottenham's 2-0 victory against Everton today at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, which sees Spurs stay in third place, 1 point behind Man City and Arsenal, and it sees Tottenham get their best ever start to a Premier League season after 10 games, with 7 wins, 2 draws, and 1 defeat. Here to help me along, we have Marlon. How are we doing, Marlon?
Good. A bit happy now after that. I think the second goal kind of said, actually, we're going in the right direction.
Calm the nerves.
Yeah, calm the nerves a little bit, and it was good to open them up and actually benefit from it. So yeah,
definitely. Especially when there's only 1 goal in it going to the last 5 minutes, there's always going to be naturally some anxiety. But thankfully, we got that goal with 5 minutes to go, and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg can't stop providing in the final third. Recently, he's getting goals and assists. Seems like on a weekly basis at the moment, and I believe that's 3 goals and 3 assists now. I think he's got in all competitions this season. So very impressive from that standpoint. Let's hope he can carry on. Or is it? Yeah, 3 goals, because he got Fulham, Chelsea, and today.
Yep.
So that's his 3rd goal of the season. I think from start, we dominated pretty much the game.
Yeah.
Pretty much from start to finish, and you can have. I think people can have some not complaints, but maybe people can say the 3-5-2 was much better than the 3-4-3. But for me, I still think we were on top even in the 3-4-3.
Both worked. I think to be honest, I think both worked. I think the 3-5-2 probably worked more in the sense of they couldn't catch us on the break, which they did in the first half. But we still dominated. We weren't overrunning midfield like everyone usually says we are with the 3-4-3. It just wasn't. We played well, just wasn't ticking. It just wasn't something which wasn't going right. But again, if you keep putting pressure on, a mistake will happen. And that's exactly what happened. Everton made a massive mistake.
There's already a narrative on Twitter forming that the Kane penalty wasn't a penalty. I mean, I'm sorry. What are you watching? What are you watching? If you think Kane wasn't foul, he got headbutted in the knee. He was a definite foul. But you can see, I think the biggest tell is the reaction from Pickford.
Pickford's reaction.
100%. It says it all. Trust me, if there was a dive in that situation, he would be going mad.
He got up and gone to the referee and gone, no. But he knows.
He knew straight away. Yeah. He fouled Kane.
It was
a definite
penalty as well. And I think that's why we've not seen something like that in probably the modern day era. So it was kind of like a lot of people saying it's not a penalty.
He took the ball past him. He tried to win it, and Kane's I think it was his thigh clashes with his head. So it has to be a penalty. So
definitely
absolute nonsense, anyone who says it. But look, I think we thoroughly deserved the victory today. It puts us in a really good position going forward. Obviously, good position going into Wednesday night against Man United, which is obviously going to be a massive test now. And we could be without Richarlison and Kulusevski, which would be a massive blow. But look, with this, thankfully, we've got the formation to cope with it.
Yes, yeah, and the players, if we think about it, with Basuma now, seems to be getting that tactical formation correct. And, we've seen when he's played the last few games, he looks a lot better than he did against West Ham in the first game.
Yeah, against Leicester and against today. He's been brilliant. 2 really good games, really strong substitute performances. I completely agree. I think Basuma's was signed to look the part. Will Stewart, THFC rants with a super chat, and he says, people laughed at me when I predicted second on between 86 to 89 points. It's still on. Arsenal will, with a capital will drop off. Will saying Arsenal will drop off, and I you know what, I hope you're right. I mean, Arsenal,
right.
Look, the thing with Arsenal right now is they just look absolutely relentless. I think it's their youth. They looks like they've got endless amount of energy. But the thing I say about Arsenal is they're playing very well, but they're playing at 100 miles an hour right now. They're literally playing full pelt at full capacity. Yeah. Let's see what happens when they get a few injuries, or players like Martinelli or Saka or Jesus aren't playing as well as they are right now. Are they like we've been able to grind out victories this season? Are they going to be able to do that when they're not playing well?
I think for
we
me,
have to wait and see.
It's Thomas Partey for me. I think once he goes on his injury run, like he normally does every year, Arsenal will start to suffer. they won't be able to cope. I think he's been very, very key into everything they're doing.
Well, he might go missing for more other reasons. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, but as if he gets injured, I don't think they have the midfield to cope with it, and I think that's where they're going to struggle.
I think that's also a very good point. But anyone, if you want to put in a super chat, we will react to it live on the show. But without further ado, this is the post-match fan show. So this is time for the fans to have your say on the game today. And without further ado, let's bring on the one, the only, Brian Daigle.
Good
Brian.
afternoon, lads, or good evening. How are you both?
Yeah, this is Truman Show. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Exactly. How are we doing?
Yeah, all good, Brian.
All
Lovely
good,
to
Brian.
see you, my
Yeah,
friend.
you too. Lovely to see you.
Now, Brian, we've so look, Spurs have look, we've had good results, but people have been complaining about performances and stuff like that. What did you make out of the performance today? Was today a performance you can confidently say we actually played well today?
Yes, and certainly the second half. And I will say, whilst Kulusevski's out, the perfect recipe to make the masterpiece for Tottenham Hotspur, your main ingredient is the 3-5-2, with a light sprinkling of Doherty at right wing back, and heavily seasoned with Basuma in a three-man midfield, because that changed the game completely. We look so much better. And you've heard me, Simeon, on this channel say many a time, 3-5-2, because Richarlison hasn't picked up an injury and we don't know how long for. But that front three together just doesn't look right. It don't look right without Kulusevski. So playing a 3-5-2, I heard you on the instant match reactions at Marlon saying it's not needed for every game. And to an extent, that's right. But I think what we've needed to do is have an attacker available to come on should it not be working. So you can revert back to a 3-4-3. But whilst Richarlison may be out now and Kulu out, it's got to be 3-5-2 from the start. We look so much better with the personnel we have.
Talking about the 3-5-2, we just got a super chat and maybe you can react to it. It's from Apurav Kumar. He says, Højbjerg and Bentancur go up a level when we play 3-5-2. Richarlison is not the man for the right wing. Talk to me more about Højbjerg and Bentancur, because once Basuma got on the pitch, you just see there it's like they've been unleashed into the attack, and they actually can help with attacks and actually making passes and getting shots on goal. I think against Leicester, when we went to 3-5-2, Bentancur and Højbjerg both got assists, if I remember, correct me if I'm wrong. And today we go to 3-5-2 and then Højbjerg gets a goal. So do you think that's absolutely right?
So first of all, Højbjerg, who you know is my favourite player, he has been on another level all season. It doesn't matter what what formation he's played in, he's been a cut above. He really has. Bentancur's been great this season as well. The two midfielders have been great, but the super chat is right in both parts, saying with Basuma there, it does allow two people to go forward because Basuma's there doing what they need to do. And Richarlison, I don't understand playing him on the right. He always plays on the left or a centre, and that's where you get the best out of him. And he's kind of been put there by default. Right, there you're going. I don't like him on the right. He offers so much more on the left or central. But to play in a 3-4-3, he's been the only option. But yeah, completely agree. Basuma just puts them at ease and lets them be a bit more freer to create. And Basuma was great when he came on. Fantastic. And hopefully now he'll get more 90 minutes or at least start. Because he's allowing Bentancur and Højbjerg to do that as well. So I'm completely with him on that super chat.
Brian, I just wanted to get your situation on the whole Perisic and Son today. Obviously, a lot of people said they can't play well together, but what did you make of their performance, especially in the first half?
I think it was a lot better. Perisic, I've got to say, in that first half, Perisic from the very first moment looked like he was on his game. And he really wanted to do stuff. And it looked good. And I was talking about this on the Irish channel as well. This whole Son and Kane thing, I get where it's coming from. But the only way they're going to get better understanding is minutes on the training pitch and minutes together on the pitch. They are both world-class players. And world-class players should be able to adapt to each other's games. Now, it might be taking a bit of time to get used to it, but I would say that was the best them two have looked together in a match, because Son was bright, Son was very bright, but Perisic to me is outstanding. So is Son. I'm not saying so, but them two should be... Before I have the world thrown at me that I've been anti-Son. Son's fantastic. I think once he gets the best once them two can work on that relationship, that left-hand side could be an absolute bounty full of treasure for us, because they're both on their day superb and they should be able to accommodate each other.
Do you feel like we're really starting to click now this season, Brian, or do you still think there's still a lot of perfecting to do with the way we're playing?
It's getting there. It's getting there. Like you were just saying before, with Arsenal going out, the filth going at 100 miles per hour and everything. It takes time. And if you look at it, we're doing this without clicking. We're doing this without clicking.
Agreed,
And who knows? The thing I came across today is, you know what? We're all talking about game management and how it's got to rotate and whatever. Now, we all know that when you've got the ball, it's a lot easier and not lose it. And, you're not chasing the ball as much and expending so much energy. Maybe that's what he's asking them to do. Say, listen, when we go up, just take it easy with the ball and not expose as much energy. I think we're on the way. And I have to say, I said it after the Brighton game. I'm going to say it again. Matt Doherty was brilliant today.
Yeah, talking about that, just quickly before you carry on about Doherty, let me just give you a quote by Conte on Doherty today. He says, "I'm really happy with Matthew. He played a good game against Brighton, but today he was much better. He was good against Brighton, but today I saw the Doherty that I saw last season, and I said to him, now finally you are the player I know."
And he called him Matthew.
Well, he loves it, mate. He loves being called Matthew, doesn't he? Listen, to me, he came in and he had that horrible injury. We all saw an improvement with him until he got that awful injury last season. And he's coming. Sorry, I just turned my phone aside. It's going bananas. So yeah, he's come in, and after a slowish start at Brighton, and then he got better. Today, what I watched with him as well, compared to Emerson, is when we're on the attack down the left, he's darting into the box. He's trying to make that extra man. And today, in the second half as well, he just grew stronger and stronger and stronger. And I think, like I said, if you're man enough to criticise someone, you got to be big enough to say when they've done well, they've done well. And to me, Matt Doherty has had his opportunity, knew it was coming with these 3-game suspensions. And 2 games in, you can honestly say he has grabbed it with both hands. I think he was really, really good today.
So do you think that's the end of Emerson now, or do you think we'll still see slight Emerson here and there?
Like, obviously, I think, no, it's not Champions League Wednesday, it's United. So that that's going to be the test mile, isn't it?
Yeah.
Once the suspension is over, does he revert back to type and go with Emerson, or does he stick with Doherty? But that statement that Ben Simeon just read out, you can only take it a very, very, very positive way. We haven't heard him come out and say, Emerson, that's the blinder, or that's the player I want, or no. He's just been picking him. He hasn't been coming out speaking about Emerson. He was great today. He really, really was. He deserves a lot of credit. And for me, he was my man of the match, which will probably set people talking. I really, really think he was that good today. I really
agree.
do.
I agree. He had a brilliant game, but from the good, we have some bad news now following the victory. And obviously, Richarlison went off injured. He has appeared to come out on crutches after the game, which is not a very good sign. And reports from Brazilian outlets are claiming that Richarlison was crying and inconsolable in the dressing room after the game following an injury. Conte has already confirmed that he will be missing the Man United game on Wednesday. So how much of a blow is that to have Richarlison potentially out till after the World Cup?
So, yeah, I mean, I was just about to say those tears are obviously because he knows this could be bad and it could ruin his World Cup. This is what I've been saying with 3-5-2. He isn't a right-sided player. He really isn't. And for the sake of playing 3-4-3, we've been playing a player out of position. My heart bleeds for him because obviously every player should be able to go play for the World Cup for their country. Regardless of where it is, it's like the pinnacle. And it's got to be devastating for him. And how ironic that it's a tackle against his old team that have done it. Let's hope it's not as bad as feared. But now we don't know if Kulu's fit. I hope and pray against United now this forces him to go 3-5-2 and he doesn't try Luke.
Oh, has he crashed? All right, I think Brian, unfortunately, he's back. All right, you can bring him on.
I think Brian.
All right, so what you were saying, Brian?
Yep. I don't know what happened there. Where did it cut off?
You were about to say, I hope he doesn't play Lucas or something?
Yep.
Okay, thank God it weren't like everything that I just said, and I was just talking to myself. Okay, thank God for that. Yeah, I just hope now this kind of. I was hoping and thought that with Kulusevski not making it, might have forced him into a 3-5-2. I hope. Unfortunately, by this way, I'd never want it on this way, but it now happens because it's do you play Lucas or Hill on the right hand side and hope something goes well, or you go with Basuma from the start, especially against United with Caballero having a great game that he did against Everton, and match him up. I really, really hope that he goes 3-5-2 against United. With that, I would have said it with Richarlison bit, and just get well soon, Richie. And I hope this isn't as bad as it's looking.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And hopefully Richarlison isn't as bad as his reaction to the injury, which sounds like it could be a while. But Brian, positive today. And look, we're third in the league. We're best ever start to a Premier League season. Can you believe it? And let's hope we go on from strength to strength.
Listen, at the end of the day, like I said, we can moan about the style of football. We can moan about whatever we want. You're totally in your right to have your opinion. But what you can't mess with is, like you said, the best start of a Premier League season, 1 point behind the leaders, top of our Champions League group. I think we'd all take that at the beginning. If someone said that to you at this time, someone said this to you, sorry, in July, for like the end of October or mid-October, I think all of us would have taken it.
Probably would have taken less than that, but yeah, but yeah, I think we're doing phenomenal. To be fair, so look, it's very good.
Yeah. Brian, just quickly.
Well, yes, Marlon, brother.
I'm just going to ask: is this the last couple of games? Is it a great reaction after losing to Arsenal a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, listen. After that, we've gone on a 1-3 on the bounce, haven't we?
Yeah.
So you can't listen. You can moan about the style of football if you want to or whatever. Yeah. But the main thing is we're in the business of winning matches and winning points that get you to trophies and lead you to glory. And 9 out of 9 is 100%, and you can't argue with that.
True. No, very, very true.
All right.
And there you go.
Brian, lovely to see you as always. Let's hope we keep winning. Didn't even need the shirt today. So we know that all the streak is over. So you can wear whatever shirt you want. I think you've got to start wearing Hollister from now on.
Well, yeah, it's a new streak of not wearing the shirt that's doing it. So there you go. So everything I wear is lucky at the moment. So
has that shirt been washed now, Brian? Have you finally washed it or still not?
Oh, no, mate. It's been washed. And the stain that had remained has vanished. It's disappeared.
Oh, the stain no longer remains.
Unfortunately. Right. It was good while it lasted.
Sorry to hear. I am sorry to hear that.
So am I. I'm sitting shiver, mate. I'm sitting shiver.
I've never been so sad to hear about a stain that's been washed out of a shirt, but I am inconsolable.
Enjoy the rest of the show, guys, and thanks for having me. Much love, everyone.
Nice one, Brian. Good to see you, mate. We have a report here from Castelbranco, who's a... let me see who he is. I think he's he is a Brazilian ESPN Brazil journalist. He says... The Richarlison's biggest worry is that he has burst his calf. He went through a similar problem at Everton where he missed 2 months with the injury. A grade 1 injury on the calf would be a minimum 10 days. A grade 2 tear is minimum 1 month. So that is, that's not great. I guess with... does Conte hold some responsibility in that, in a sense that on Wednesday he claimed he took Richarlison off early because he had a bit of a problem. He claimed with his knee, so maybe it was a different injury, but he said he had a problem, and now he started him today and he's picked up an injury.
It's probably one of those unfortunate situations. If, on Wednesday it was, if like you said, if it's a different injury. And it's not the same injury that's gone, then you kind of have to go look at it. It could have happened in any game for him. And he just seemed to get caught, and that was it. So it's just unlucky. If we want a positive out of it, it just means that we know Gabriel Jesus will be going to the World Cup for definite, and he'll be tired when he gets back. So
yeah, he looks. He's a picture of him giving an interview to ESPN, and he looks very, very sad. So let's hope He makes a speed.
recovery.
Yeah, hopefully it's a grade 1 and it'll be a 10 days, and maybe it won't be so bad, which would be really, really bad. Also, Chelsea apparently have just confirmed that Reece James is out for up to 8 weeks and will miss the World Cup. That's bad news there coming for England. Not necessarily for Spurs, but for England. Let's bring on the next guest, and we have Ariane. Ariane, good to see you, my friend. How are you doing? You all right? Yeah,
great.
Very good.
Great. Look, that whole game, honestly, start to finish. I know a lot of people were complaining about it first half, especially like, oh, the football's dead, everything's dead.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the whole 90 minutes, honestly. Even though it was a little bit slow, I was never, except for that one little chance Onana had, I never really felt like, oh shit. Because, Everton have been doing this the whole season. They're sitting back. This is exactly what everybody expected. They were going to try and break away a couple times. And they ended the game with no shots on target. Let's not forget about that. So it was a great performance, start to finish. 3-4-3, 3-5-2. I mean, 3-5-2 was a lot better when we were going forward. But honestly, I think the whole performance, no matter really what happened, I think we're always good for a goal or two that game.
Yeah. Talk to me about some individuals. Who most impressed you on the pitch?
Romero. Oh, he was sensational today. I mean, the guy, he finally got that dog back. He's been missing that. He was missing that a little bit. He wasn't going in for the side tackles. He wasn't being aggressive. He was kind of pulling out of challenges. I don't know what it was. It's like Conte kind of came into him and was like, look, you gotta be the Romero that I initially was playing, or else maybe, I don't know if he threatened to spot with Sanchez or something. But today, and against Frankfurt, he's starting to get that again, and we were having that aggressive Romero back, which is always great to see, because I love when he goes in for a nice challenge and just rips the player. So yeah, I think he was excellent.
Do you think Doherty has now said, I'm the number 1 right back at the club?
I pray to God that he has, because I cannot stand seeing Emerson play again in the midweek again. That guy was, look, he's defensively decent, but when it's going forward, the ball comes to him. There's no one who slows the play down more than him. It just isn't. I really hope that, because Doherty was great today. Going forward, won a bunch of fouls. That McNeil sliding challenge just had me laughing, because Doherty just did him dirty. And exceptional stuff from him, as always. I mean, he's back to the Doherty of last season, which is exactly what we wanted, because I could not stand, because we were never signing a wing back, because Daniel Levy has that Spence excuse locked in for the next 3 years, right? So there's no way we're getting another right back until God knows what, and thankfully Doherty finally turned up again, because that Emerson guy was going to keep starting every match, and that was not something I was looking forward to.
Yeah, 100%, and I agree. It was much improved from Doherty, and Conte as well, saying it himself. Conte also had special praise for Yves Bissouma, who obviously came off the bench after Richarlison got injured. Another really good cameo after he had a good performance against Leicester in that 3-5-2. Tell me what you thought about his performance and what it did for the team having him there.
Oh, I mean, when he came on, he was... The whole team went up a level. That's partly because of the 3-5-2 probably, but I mean, he was incredible. He was going forward very well. His challenges were. There was one on the side, like next to the sideline that I saw, that he just kind of came in from the side, took the ball the most clean way possible. His body was for nothing the attacker could do about it. It was kind of just accepted. I think it was Damari Gray. Like, he just couldn't do anything about it. Got the ball, passed it forward. I think like it was 1-0. I think like maybe 2 minutes later we ended up scoring from that same line of possession. Or no, I think Kane won the ball when we scored, but still. Bissouma just played excellent. I think he was practically faultless today when he came on. Changed the game completely. That's partly because of the tactical change in the 3-5-2, and partly because of just how good of a player he is. And it looks like Conte's finally trusting him with that responsibility, that tactical awareness, because that was something he mentioned at a press conference once. Seems like he's trusting him more now, and you can see it on the pitch. That guy is just very disciplined now, and he's playing. He's been there for 5 years.
Well, what does he do for Højbjerg and Bentancur as well, him being on the pitch? Because they seem to have like the shackles unleashed a bit when to go forward when he's on the pitch. Because I believe against Leicester, when he came on, Højbjerg and Bentancur both got assists. And then today, Bentancur assisted Højbjerg today with Basuma on the pitch. So do you believe they become a bit like more forward-thinking when they have that third midfielder with them?
100%, because the thing with Højbjerg is this misconception that he's like some defensive, he's like CDM, but he's not. He's a very progressive player, actually. And Bentancur as well, he's always been that more of kind of box to box, but because you play on a double pivot, they don't have the same kind of freedom. You play Basuma, who's very capable of also being a bit more deep lying, gives them the freedom to go forward, and they have, Højbjerg especially has a very, he's very good quality in the front three in the final third, and we've seen it, assists and goals. The guy has a very intelligent way of playing in the final third, and it's getting us results when you can give him that freedom to go up. Højbjerg is a different player entirely, and Bentancur especially, you can give him a really good pass, like a really incisive pass every now and again. And so he loves that. He didn't do it today as much, but he loves that, like, first time the ball's always come to, he like dinks it over. And if he's given the freedom to like do that, we just look so much better going forward because we can overload their like box. You have Kane, Son, Højbjerg, Bentancur, the wingbacks start getting involved, and they start running out of men to defend them. So someone's going to be free, and eventually we're going to score. And you could see that happen perfectly today, especially with that second goal, because there was so much to mark, they just couldn't get it. And Højbjerg had like 3 whole seconds to take his time and shoot.
And with Kane got man of the match today, and are we starting to see like Kane get back to his best as we've seen in previous years?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, he looks so fit. His fitness is through the roof. The guy looks, when he puts on the burners, he starts going so fast. Like I've never seen Kane sprint at that kind of speed before, and he's obviously always been so strong. And it's this like, Kane is not really playing as deep, and I feel like a lot of people are like saying his performances aren't as good as a couple seasons ago just because he's not doing that like KDB and Harry Kane role that he used to play. He's just Harry Kane, and he's so good at being that as well. He's scoring so many goals. We're not used to seeing this like poacher Kane again, but now Conte's playing him there, and he's just getting goals after goals after goals. Any other season, Kane is running away with the golden boot. Haaland has just completely skewed everybody's vision here because he has like a ridiculous amount of goals. But any other season, 9 goals in 10 games is a ridiculous return. Any other season.
Yeah.
And he's doing sublime. He's doing so well. I mean, Harry Kane is just on another level right now.
Yeah, I completely agree. And best ever start to a Premier League season, Ariane. What's everyone complaining about?
You tell me. I could not. I'm so confused. Every game we're scoring, and everyone's like. The weird thing is, post game is very positive, and then throughout the midweek, everyone's talking about how Conte plays like shit football, whatever. And then we start a game, and because we haven't scored within the first 10 minutes, because what a travesty that is, everyone's talking about how negative Conte is. And then they start talking about some random stuff like, oh, Højbjerg is also negative, Bentancur is negative. I don't know, why do we have this guy playing here? Why do we have? And then we end up scoring, and then everyone's like, oh yeah, this is why we're so good. This is why we've had our best. It's like people forget. People have ridiculously short memories. I don't understand it at all. But yeah, I mean, Antonio Conte is a miracle worker, and I think especially today, he coached this game. Especially today, I think he coached it to perfection.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
He played that so well, completely neutralized Everton, and we ended up, at the very end, destroying them. We had like 2.2 expected goals, which, for a ridiculously negative manager is not a horrible return. Yeah, I mean, Antonio Conte he's been excellent in his time at Spurs, but today I think especially he coached this perfectly. I gave him a 10 out of 10.
Absolutely. Ariane, brilliant to have you on as always, my friend. Good to see you.
As always.
And we'll hope to be very soon.
All right, love coming on, and as always, come on, you Spurs!
Come on, love the passion, Ariane. Big up to you, my friend. Dan Jesus says, is there a problem with the rendezvous? I don't believe so. Maybe we're just waiting. Maybe we'll let you in a sec, I think, Dan, but keep patient. But we move on to LA Ian. Ian, lovely to see you, mate. How are you doing?
Great after that win. A win always makes your day better.
Definitely.
Have you anything less than a win? It's a sad day.
Have you been noticing I've been wearing the Hollywood Spurs shirt sometimes on the videos? I hope you've kept a keen eye out.
I'm so glad you're wearing the shirt. I would have, if my plans have gone accordingly, I would have been at this game, but some things didn't work out, and it's okay. And I was gonna bring you guys. We got new designed shirts. I was gonna bring more shirts.
Oh man, I need more
And
shirts.
they're better. They are way better than the ones that you got. The ones that you got, if you don't really know what you're looking at, it's sometimes kind of hard to realize what, like, LA Hollywood Spurs, like it's kind of hard to see. But these new ones are great. They're really good.
Don't worry, I know what I'm looking at. That's the most important thing.
Okay.
But tell me about today, Ian. What did you make of the performance in general? Like, what did you see? What was your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I mean, what was obvious is that the second Basuma came on, like everyone's been saying, we just played so much better. It's as simple as we started at the back and we went forward. Like, it's that simple. We struggle with that, going from our back line to Bentancur or Højbjerg up to Kane or Son or Kulusevski or Bouchard. It's that simple. But when you have an extra midfielder, I do see it being a lot easier for us. And when that happens, we've got deadly attackers. And Kane's clever. I mean, Pickford messed up. That was a total blunder on his part, and just ran funny Kane. He went down. I mean, it's a penalty all day, and he usually slots them, not like last time, but he slotted this one. And then Højbjerg, I got to give it to. If you go on my Twitter, I've been Højbjerg lover ever since. He's deceivingly good. What I mean by that is, he's not like a Conte or a Rodri flair. He does the grunt work that you don't really notice, and then once he actually does get forward, he can shove someone off, put in a through ball, and boom, we're flying.
Let me just add to that quickly, Ian. Let me just add to that. He's now got 3 goals and 3 assists this season, Højbjerg. So are we starting to see Højbjerg who's being more effective in the final third?
Yes, we are. Just like the Frankfurt goal, the Sonny volley. He got that ball, took a touch, put the ball forward, shouldered off the defender, and put in a beautiful ball. He is actually quite technical when he gets there, and he's probably gonna be a no-brainer guarantee starter almost every game. He's got the engine for it. He's physically dominant, a monster. So he'll be almost probably every game, just like he was last year, like every single minute.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think that Højbjerg and Bentancur are benefiting from when Basuma is in there, that actually they are more forward thinking and that both of them can push forward, and actually then Kane and Son actually get more into the game as well when that happens?
Yeah, 100%. When you have 3, it's just easier. I mean, we still get, we're third in the league. We still have gotten the job done when we're struggling in the midfield, because we've struggled in the midfield, but we still got the job done. When Basuma comes in, it is exponentially easier. And if we start with a couple run of games with those 3 guys, I think we will see, everyone's obsessed with XG. We'll see a lot more attacking and higher XG.
Yeah, definitely. In terms of individuals today, you pointed out Højbjerg. Who else had your eye today? Who really impressed you?
I really like what Matt Doherty did. Basuma came in. We talked about that. He was great when he came in. Doherty was like, it was first of all, way better than Royale. Some of those cut moves he made, Royale wouldn't even attempt them. He might accidentally fall into one because his touch is so bad. But Doherty actually meant to do something. That one cut that was almost in the byline, and you got a free kick there, and then but he won like 4 free kicks today just by making a move and successfully making a move. He was great for me. I think we all see, if you guys seen the pictures, the videos on Twitter of him coming off, and like everyone's pretty happy. Conte screams in his ear like some Conte shit. Who knows what he's saying? But everyone seemed pretty happy with his performance, and I do think we should be seeing him. But I don't know. Conte's got a soft spot for Royale or something. I don't know.
Well,
I
Conte
don't know.
today said this is the first time he's finally seen the Doherty of last season. So does that suggest that Doherty will now be our first choice?
Absolutely. When he came in for Royale last year, and he was just bossing it through the middle of the park, getting through balls to Kane, and then he got hurt, and we were all sad. If he plays like how he did when he did for that little stint, we're gonna be great. Like honestly, we're gonna be really good for like those 4-5-1, 4-0 nils that we were getting at the middle end of last year. Yeah, absolutely. We're going to see the best of Matt Doherty in the future.
And the only down marker today, I guess, is Richarlison. He went off injured, and it doesn't look good for him. He's been seen crying after the game, and he's on crutches. So it could be. Look, obviously, it's early speculation, but it doesn't sound like he's going to be back anytime soon. Potentially till after the World Cup. How much of a blow is that to us?
It's a blow. I mean, once we have the attacking options, we have, I guess if you count Mora and Hill, right? We have 5 with Richarlison. But when you lose one, someone as exciting as Richarlison, he's kind of dropped off a little bit, in my opinion, the last couple of weeks. But it's a huge blow. When you always want options, and he's a proven Premier League talent. I'm sure he's got a great reputation with all the other teammates, and he's just trying to develop an attacking relationship with them. And when you get hurt, that really hurts that. I'm sad. I did not hear if he was crying. People saw him crying.
Yeah, apparently there's some reports saying he's been inconsolable after the game. Obviously, there's no confirmation yet as to the extent of the injury, but apparently it's fair. It could potentially be similar to an injury that he had when he was at Everton, which kept him out for 2 months. And if that was the case, he'll obviously miss the World Cup. But obviously, nothing confirmed yet. We'll have to wait for scans and everything to see. But it's not looking good for him. He's on crutches, so that in itself is not a good look.
Yeah, if. Conte is kind of that creature of habit with the 3-4-3. I bet you we probably even know that we think we know that Conte knows that we did when Bissouma came in. We had 3 midfielders. We did great, but he's a creature of habit. Well, we'll probably see a 3-4-3 against Man U and probably have Lucas Moura. I bet you that will happen. With Son, Kane, and Moura. I seriously. I bet you will see.
You don't think on Wednesday we're going to go with the 3-5-2?
I would love to see it. Personally, I mean, I think we could. Once you get a run of games in 3-5-2, like 4 or 5 games in a row, I really think we're going to explode. But, every time I remember beginning of the season or kind of up to this point, we thought, he was going to do this. So surely you can't put Royale in again. Surely we got to, Sessegnon's got to come in, and then he just sticks to what he did before, and I just feel like he's going to stick to 3-4-3, and we're going to see someone fill in for that right wing role. And by the way, I just want to say something with Richarlison. When Kulusevski comes back, Kulusevski should start. It should be Son, Kane, Kulusevski, but Richarlison's way better as a striker and not as a winger. So
especially off the right as well.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, we need to lay off. Like we're playing Kane a lot, and I really don't want to exhaust him. So if we can start playing better in the first half, maybe get a 2-0 lead at halftime, bring King off in the 60th, 65th, Richarlison come in and just no pressure, do your thing at striker. I think he'll be a lot better. A lot better.
All right, Ian. Very positive day today for Spurs. Best start ever in a Premier League campaign. So, what's there to complain about, eh?
Nothing. Keep going. I don't care how we play. All I care about is the 3 points. I remember. You guys remember we would in the Poch days when we were playing good football. But we would have 12 shots, 10 on target, and we lose 1-0. It doesn't matter how you play. It matters how you get the result and getting the result.
Yeah,
And
and
that's all I care about.
we've never started a season so, even under those days under Poch, we've never started
I'll
a season
take
so
a
well.
1-0 win every game in the 1 goal is an own goal. I don't care. I want to win. I want trophies. Okay?
And I think
Sorry.
we can
That was a
all
little
agree.
aggressive.
That's the manner of a fan who hasn't seen a trophy since 2008. So you got a right to be aggressive. Ian, lovely to see you, mate. Thanks for calling in. Always good to hear from you. And we'll see you very soon. Hopefully you make
Great
it
to see everybody.
down to London soon, and we get some of those.
I
T-shirts.
will be back. And I'll let you know.
I'm looking forward,
I'll bring
mate.
some shirts.
Looking forward. I need some
Tottenham
shirts.
till
I'm
I
running
die.
out.
See
I'm
you
running
guys.
out. I'm running out shirts, Ian. I need some. I'll see you soon.
I'm gonna head out with
Good to see Ian as always. Everyone's in good spirits today, which is lovely to see.
Yeah, and you know, especially after the second half, I'm not surprised. It's kind of we need to. It's been positive. There's so much positives to take from it.
Yeah, 100%.
We've had 2 negative games this year, and probably only one was more negative than the other. But yeah, it's time to be positive. Come on, it's Spurs time, isn't it?
I completely agree. And one guy who was always very positive is the one and the only KPV. Let's get him on. Kyle,
Yo,
what's going on, Kyle?
not a lot, mate. Just watch the highlights.
Not a
of the
lot. We
team.
just got 3 points. Come on. It's all popping off.
I'm expecting a rave at your house.
What?
Kyle,
I'm expecting a rave at your house tonight.
he looks like he's in a night. You look like you're in a nightclub, Kyle, with the lighting. I'm sure you love it.
I'm in a flat. I'm in a flat. Are you
You're
mad?
getting a house party going on. Come on.
No, I'm not really. Like, I only do that at different times, man. But Monday I am.
Exactly. Carl, who's your man of the match today?
Easy, no question. It's got to be Harry Kane.
Harry Kane. Why is
Harry
that?
Clausey. Another brilliant performance from the man. 5 games he's now scored in. Like, brilliant performance from the guy. He's on fire. But I'm a bit disappointed Son didn't score because I've got him in my FPL team. It didn't get me points, so a bit shocking.
Carl,
Look.
I had him captain, so I feel your pain.
Jesus!
Don't worry. Look, the 3 points softens the blow, so don't worry about that,
Yeah,
Kyle.
so, yeah, like, and I think Hoiberg now got 3 goals this
He
season.
has.
So,
He does.
Yeah.
and that now what 10 attacking return.
I think 3 goals this season is 3 goals and 3 assists.
Oh, 6 then. I'll take 6 in total then. 6.
Yeah, 100%. And he's another good
Yeah.
game from him today, wasn't it?
Yeah, another brilliant game. Like Wednesday. Amazing. And now we go again on Wednesday at Old Trafford, as Harry Kane said after the game. We have a big game Wednesday. Like, Old Trafford ain't a good record, but we won there 4 times. So who says we can't win there? 6-1. They still are scared of that 6-1 defeat. Like,
Down.
who says we can't win there? Like, I'm excited for the game. This game was probably better though. Like, the 12th man, the fans were the 12th man. Doherty, another brilliant performance. And I wonder what Kula was saying on the bench. What was Kulusevski saying?
He wasn't on the bench today. He's still injured, unfortunately. But Richarlison got picked up an injury, Carl. It's bad news, isn't it?
Yeah, like, hopefully he's not out of the Brazil squad for the World Cup because they're the favourites to win it. Like, I just hope it's not that Arsenal guy, Gabriel Jesus, going to be in the squad. Like, he's not their best player. It's Richarlison because they're the favourites. And Kulu was on the bench, I saw him. He was on the bench. I wonder what he was talking about.
Oh, you mean he was at the game, but he wasn't on the bench.
Well, it was probably just sitting, like, next to the fans, saying, I better be playing next Wednesday. I better be playing on Wednesday since Richarlison is out. But on FPL, it says Kulu is expected to play on Wednesday, on the 19th. So,
Well,
yeah.
I wouldn't get your hopes up just yet, but we'll see.
He was probably telling Royale that he ain't going to get back in the team after the Doherty's performance today.
Oh, well, but Yeah, he's not. Anyway, Doherty's our first choice, and finally Spence came on, but he didn't get a touch. But finally came on, which is good to see. I expect us to play 3-5-2 since Richarlison's not going to play. So 3-5-2, probably the best formation, the best start in over 5 years. The commentator said,
It's
5
our best
years.
start ever. It's our best start ever, Kyle.
Well, the commentator said it's our best start in over 5 years, but ever then.
Ever would be over 5 years, I guess. I guess
Oh
you could say that.
shit! Not again.
Kyle, lovely to see you, mate. Always. Oh, is he gone? Oh, he's gone. Kyle, it's always a pleasure to see you. Sleep well. Hope you have a good rest of the day. And we'll speak to you very soon, Kyle. Lovely to see you as always. But now let's bring on. Is Dan? Is he there? Okay, he's connect. I think he's there. Yeah, he's all right. You can hear me. All right, let's bring Dan THFC on. Dan, good to see you, mate.
Emerson, get out! Emerson, get out!
Straight in there. Straight in there. No mercy.
How are you guys? How are you guys?
He put in one good cross against Frankfurt. Didn't you see it?
No.
I see. Willful blindness. Tell me about Matt Doherty today. Conte said in his press conference that today was the first time he saw the Matt Doherty from last season. Do you agree with that?
When I saw that tweet, I celebrated like a goal, man. Honestly, like finally, this Brazilian fraud is out of the team. No, but honestly, like in all honesty, when Bentancur, no, not Bentancur, sorry, when Bissouma came onto the pitch, Doherty looked like a completely different player. Like, he was playing all right in the first half, but as soon as we went to 3 in the middle, he looked like a completely different player. And that doesn't only go for Doherty, that goes for the whole team. We improved so much with that 3 in the middle. But I don't think that that's for all games. I think that there's some games, we should have gone with 3 in the middle from the jump, because Everton are a side to have a very, very aggressive midfield. So that's what we should have done. But Doherty, he was playing decent, but when we went through 3 in the middle, Doherty looked unreal. I'm so happy for the guy. You could even see when he came off, when he was hugging Conte. I was just so happy for him, honestly. Finally, this Brazilian fraud is out of that starting 11. Come on. No more compilations. No more dances on Instagram story right before a game and then getting a stupid red card. Come on.
Do you not think that when obviously Bissouma came on, that obviously Bentancur and Højbjerg were could be a lot more attacking, and that's hence the reason why we were a lot better going forward?
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, there's some games definitely that we should go 3 in the middle. It enhances our midfield so much more. Like Højbjerg, his attack is so underrated, man. His pass, like he's got this pass on him, his vision on him, so underrated. And then Bentancur, he's a quality midfielder. I'd say between those have been our 2 best performers this season. Between Bentancur and Højbjerg. Like, they've been fantastic, but especially with that 3 in the middle, they look fantastic. Especially Bissouma, I have him as my man of the match today because when he came on, he changed the whole game. Whether that be the formation or whether that just be him, I think that he had a fantastic game, and it was a good how to say it was a good thing to see since he had a pretty disappointing game last time around, but I was very happy with it.
Yeah, and as you say about attacking returns, Højbjerg has now got 3 goals and 3 assists in all competitions this season. People have been talking about Spurs needing a midfielder, an attacking midfielder, or a midfielder who's going to chip in with goals and assists, but is Højbjerg becoming that man for you?
I understand what they're trying to say because when they say that, they're talking about an attacking midfielder. Højbjerg is not a cam. That's what we need. I would like James Maddison or James Ward-Prowse, but Højbjerg, I've always seen him like that. You even look at the assist to Sonny's goal in the Champions League. That was phenomenal. Like, this guy, he has the ability to attack. And he's all... I don't know. It's just like there's a perspective that people see that he's only that defensive midfielder that likes to get stuck into challenges. I don't believe that he's only that. He does have a little bit of flair. Just because he doesn't have nice boots and a nice haircut doesn't mean that a player doesn't have flair. He has the ability to progress from one side of the pitch to the other. And I think that he's going to be a crucial player to us this season.
Let me read a quote for you, Dan, from Conte after the game on Ivan Perisic. He says, "Today I thought Perisic played the way in the way that he can play. With his injury before, he struggled a little bit, but he played okay. But this performance today was more like the Ivan I know." What was your take on Perisic's performance today?
I thought it was very good, but it seems like Conte's meeting everybody that he used to know today, because it seems to be the coach for everybody. But it was very, very positive from Perisic. I saw a stat the other day that he's got the most successful crosses, in the Premier League this season. That is just fantastic, and that's really what he's been brought in to do. But there's a part of me that connection between Son and Son and Perisic is a little bit off. I can't lie. Like, there's times where they just don't communicate well down the line. I feel like Son has a better connection with Sessegnon. Not to say that Sessegnon should start over Perisic, but that's just what I believe. Like, they've got better chemistry between the two down the left than Perisic and Son. But that could be worked over time. I really like Perisic. I want him on free kicks as well. And when he's not there, I want Son on free kicks. Anything other than Kane. But like, it was very, very good from Perisic today, and I love the fact that he's just got a really, really good cross on him, and that he just brings that ability to the team that we haven't seen in such a long time through that right hand side, because we've had that Brazilian fraud in there that can't cross a football to save his life. Now we have the Croatian savior down that left hand side.
Everton obviously had no shots on target today. Do you think some praise needs to be on the back three or back five as they were today? Because obviously to bring a team to there to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and they've not had a shot. And obviously we're speaking a lot about the attacking side of the game, but actually does the back three need a lot more? Actually, how solid were they today?
Well, they were solid when they were asked questions of them. They weren't really asked too much of them. That has to go down to the way that Everton play football. I knew they were going to be solid defensively. This is the side that has conceded the least amount of goals in the whole Premier League season out of everybody. So they've been very, very solid defensively, and we scored 2 on them. So it was a big positive. But in the back, even when Davinson Sanchez came on, I'm not saying that he has to be at this football club any longer, but he was even solid at times. He was solid at times. He made a few good tackles. So Davinson Sanchez even looked positive. If Davinson Sanchez looked positive, then it was a good defensive display. But even Romero, like, he's been poor this season. He looks like the old Romero. Eric Dyer, he was actually good on the ball. Last time out, it looked like he had the decision making of a teaspoon whenever he was under pressure. But then he had Ben Davis was solid as well, but he wasn't really asked too many questions. So it was a good defensive display, but that was only when we were asked questions, because Everton were not going to go and attack us.
I'll leave you with this, Dan. I want your reaction. This is from an account on Twitter called Gooner Talk, and he's tweeted this after the game today. Spurs have been atrocious yet again. Bailed out by another soft penalty. I can't recall the last time such a terrible team was so close to the top of the Premier League. I'm not even saying this as an Arsenal fan. I'm saying it as a football fan who's bored to tears whenever they are on TV. What do you have to say to that, Dan?
Yeah, mate, he's not saying it as an Arsenal fan. He's saying it as an absolute retard. That's what he's saying it as. Oh my God, what a joke of an opinion, bro. And the funny thing is, you think that was a soft penalty when you had Jesus flying like the wind last week, mate. Oh my God, the guy literally headbutted you in the thigh. What do you want Harry Kane to do? What do you want him to do? He's headbutted him in the leg. Honestly, the hate towards Harry Kane and the whole diving thing, and he scores penalties. What do you want him to do? Miss them? Like, the guy gets a penalty and he puts him in the back of the net. What else do you want? It's actually jokes, man. And you want to talk about getting a lucky result from a referee? You lot just robbed Liverpool of a result from terrible refereeing decision. Like, don't even try. And you're literally top of the league and celebrating it, and we've just entered October. You lot are a joke. We're gonna smash you. We're gonna finish on top of you. And you ask why? If you ask why we're gonna finish on top of you, my evidence is the last 6 years. So get to bed. Go in the hiding when we smash you at White Hart Lane. And I don't even care if Google pays the naming rights. I'm still calling it White Hart Lane. We're gonna finish ahead of you, mate. Calm down, pipe down. We're just a better team than you.
Damn right, Dan THFC,
Keep
holding
crying.
the smoke.
I'm gonna quote Richarlison: "Cry more."
Cry more. 100%, Dan. Lovely to see you as always, mate. Always good to have you on, and we'll speak to you very soon.
Come on, you Spurs, and get Harry Kane off free kicks.
Exactly, damn right. More positive news coming from the Richarlison camp. Nothing confirmed, but this is from a source close to Richarlison, according to Bruno Andrade, who obviously he broke the transfer news that Richarlison was coming to Spurs early in the window. And he says Richarlison, he said he cried more with fright after the game. At first, there's nothing serious. However, we'll only know for sure after the exams. We are confident. So that's more positive. Obviously, Richarlison must have been very scared about picking up an injury just before the World Cup, but it seems as though his reaction is more out of worry than actually knowing he's going to be out for a long time. So let's hope that the scans come back positive and he's not going to be badly injured or as injured as he personally thought he was. So maybe it's not going to be as bad as first appeared, but that's more positive on that front. Let's see what happens, I guess. Next up, we have the Joracle. Let's bring him on. Jory,
hey,
all smiles today after Spurs have their best ever start to a Premier League campaign. What were your thoughts on the game today?
Well, best ever start and best ever game in this season. I think for me, I don't want to keep it too long, but I had to call in because I really, in that second half, I really felt like I'm watching a masterpiece blossom in front of me. All of these things that, like the non-clicking, the personnel choices, all of it made sense in that last half. You can see how it's all starting to gel together. I mean, the way when Basuma came on, the way Bentancur and Højbjerg could play all of a sudden, the way Sonny and Perisic played together today was really good. I thought Sonny and Kane. I mean, Kane was amazing. I thought, even though he didn't manage to be that much of a threat in front. Oh, I mean, he was quite a threat, to be honest. But like, it was too tight to really make anything happen at the start there. But he was so amazing in every other regard, especially defensively. I thought he was really unbelievable, Kane, tonight. So and the pressing was beautiful. I think that's the key thing when we're meeting these teams that are going to be sitting deep and not letting anything behind their lines, is to get them on the counter with the press. That's our opportunity. So I really, for me, it was almost kind of like an oracle moment. That second half, it was like, oh my God, I can see Conte's master plan now. So it was amazing. Yeah.
Does it feel like Basuma was just a missing part that, and once he got tactically aware of the whole jigsaw?
I definitely, yeah. I mean, like, and even because I understood and knew what Basuma could bring and so on, but you don't understand and know what it actually starts to mean for Bentancur and Højbjerg, even though they've been doing amazing progression this season, and like, I've loved really almost, even with games I've not been happy about, I've been happy with those two almost all season, but their play is so blossoming, and also just Basuma himself, he came in there with some confidence, and what he can do on the ball is what we saw some of that tonight, and it's going to be beautiful to watch, and also, and of course the missing pink, I've been one to stand up for Emerson when he's gotten the most hate, not because I love him particularly or anything, but I did agree with what I'm assuming was Conte's conclusion, that Emerson was the most solid defensively on the right side, but Doherty was great defensively, and I mean, going forward, he's back to like I've always like since he hit that form last season, I've always thought Doherty is a proper wing back. Like he really knows that play going forward. I've always been pretty happy with him and kind of impressed with him actually because we were so disappointed with everything coming, everything we've seen from him before Conte came in. But I thought defensively Doherty was really good tonight. So yeah, I was super like I couldn't really. I mean, I really like there was. I felt Hugo a little bit insecure still, but he like there's nothing particular that I would you know no criticism in particular. In the first half, of course, we saw some insecurity from Eric Dyer, and we saw some bad decisions in the defense, and we got away with it for sure. But I don't even care too much about that because once we got into that second half and we saw it was not only when Basuma came on, it was just the whole second half. I really felt like this is and like this now what I saw there is something that can win the league, is something that can win Champions League, whatever. If that progression, if this is the design that I think I saw there, the starting glimpse of, like we're in for something amazing, I think. So yeah.
Wow, high praise.
Yeah.
You said Doherty, you were very impressed with him. Conte as well had big words to say about Ivan Perisic, saying today as well, along with Doherty, it was the first time he saw the Perisic he knew and what he can do. Did you see a big improvement in Perisic today for you?
Yeah, I think so. I think there wasn't the confusion on the left side anymore which has probably hampered both Perisic and Sonny. It was like they were completely clear on where and when and all of that, and he was much more aggressive. He was faster. He like had some really impressive sprints. He was much more direct, much more aggressive. Yeah, much more what I would expect the Perisic to be when we signed him. To be honest, I haven't been too dissatisfied with him either, but I definitely did think that there should be more to come there, and rightly so. So we're seeing the start of that, I think. So.
And obviously, Richarlison picked up an injury after the game. He seemed to be quite upset with the injury he picked up, but there are now noises that it might not be as bad as we'd hope. How much of a blow would it be if he was, say, to be out till after the World Cup? How much of a blow to us would that be?
Well, I mean, we kind of have the headroom now, even though we don't want anybody to be out. But now everybody finally is back. Hopefully, Kulu is going to be ready for the next game. Otherwise, it's a bit of a damper. But even with those things, that's what we've been seeing so far this season. Even when we're not optimal, either in personnel or performance or whatever, there's some structural discipline and integrity that makes sure that we never fall too far from contending. So I'm not worried in that regard. I mean, I would be disappointed because I do hope and feel that we're on the brink of really kicking on now. And it's kind of almost forbearing when I opened Twitter after the game, and the first tweet I saw was from the Prem something. It was a neutral Twitter account, and it says, "Tottenham are coming. Don't believe anything they say." And that's how I feel about it. We're coming for sure.
All right. I completely agree. Jory, brilliant to hear from you, mate. Nice to see you as always, and we'll see you very soon.
Likewise, great show, guys, and take care. Come on, you Spurs!
Come on, you Spurs! Everyone is very, very happy at the moment. That was the Joracle. Was that the last one? That is the last caller of the day. All right. Well, that was everyone. Everyone's very, very happy after Tottenham's 2-0 victory against Everton sees them sit third in the league going into Sunday. Obviously,
starting there.
Yeah. I was like, is it
so surprised.
Yeah, but I think we can't move from third, can we? Even if anyone wins. But
No.
Obviously, we are 1 point. Behind now Man City and Arsenal, so we will keep a keen eye on those games tomorrow. And what was a brilliant performance today, and one with many, many positives. Let's have our fingers crossed Richarlison's injury isn't too bad, but definitely keeping up our 100% home record, having the best start to a Premier League season ever. I mean, very happy days, and I'm very, very happy right now. But Marlon, thank you very much for joining me on the Watch Along and the Post Match Fan Show. We want to let everyone know where they can find you.
Yeah, I've got a channel called A View from the South Stand TV. We stream match reactions as well at certain times. But yeah, you can find me there. I do appear on other pods as well, and obviously I'll appear on much more watch-alongs. But yeah, if you can get over there and subscribe to A View from the South Stand TV, that would be well appreciated.
Yeah, 100%. Go check out A View from the South Stand TV now and go and subscribe to see more of Marlon. But thank you everyone for tuning into the Post-Match Fan Show, and thank you to all the guests, all the callers for making it a great show. Thank you for everyone who sent in super chats, all the commenters, anyone who's interacted. I appreciate all you guys in the chat, everyone who's made this show the way it is. So absolutely brilliant stuff from everyone today. Another 3 points from Spurs as we go from strength to strength. Thank you for joining us today. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always, come on you Spurs.